would, of course, agree that we should share that, we could be open to do so. But for now, we're bound by our mandate.
So right now, it's confidential, so you cannot divulge to us the firearms, what kind of firearms are those, the serial numbers, that's confidential? You mean the Filipino people doesn't have the right to know?
So
Sir?
So Your Honor, we in the IDB, when we finished each phase of decommissioning, we send a report to our principal, which is a two-piece panels.
I understand, sir, I understand, I know where you're coming from.
Senator Tulfo.
Yes, my first question, Secretary Galvez or anybody from your office can answer this. 100,000 pesos each were given to MILF surrenderies. Hindi po ata pantay. Why sa MNLF, 45,000 lamang allocated for its surrenderies? Bakit magkaiba po? Sa MILF, 100,000, MNLF, 45,000.
Sir, actually, sir, yung ano sir natin, no, yung sa 100,000, sa MILF, dahil kasi mayroon silang decommissioning, yung ano, yung sa MNLF po, sir, is stenciling. Wala pa po yung talagang decommissioning because on our final peace agreement with the MNLF, wala po tayong provisions for decommissioning. So yung gagawin po natin, yung initially yung 45,000, considering na according to RA 20 of the final peace agreement, those who will not be integrated should be given tinatawag natin socio-economic package. And basically, ang gusto nga namin po, pare-pareho po yung ibigay. Ang intention po talaga natin is 100,000 din po ibigay natin sa MNLF. Initially lang na ibigay natin yun because ang ano pa lang natin is only stenciling pa po ang ginawa po natin, Your Honor.
Okay. Stenciling, Secretary.
Yes, sir. Kasi yun nga po ang ano natin. Kasi ito po yung nagiging problema po natin sa final peace agreement.
Can you please enlighten this committee what stenciling is all about?
Yung stenciling po ng firearms nila, kinukuha po ng bali po sir, nire-record po natin kasi yung part po yun, ito part po ng ano natin yan na gusto po natin ma-recover po lahat ang mga loose firearms. So isa po ito yung mga tinatawag nating na parang ating proseso para at least kukunin natin yung firearms ng ating brother MNLF and then stencil po natin and then we have an agreement na mayroon tinatawag tayong firearms control.
Yeah, as a follow-up question to that,
Before that, Senator Tulfo would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bato de la Rosa.
okay. Yung mga sinusurrender ng firearms, 4,000 and all, right? Yan po ba ay niregister? Meron ho ba kayong database where those firearms are registered? And I would like to follow up also dun sa request nung kausap po mga taga-military na dapat yung serial numbers, if they are logged in sa database ninyo, dapat accessible yan sa PNP at NBI para kung halimbawa nagkaroon ng operations yung mga grupong yon, they can cross-check doon sa mga na-recover nila na mga baril versus doon po sa mga sinurrender na mga baril. So, ito ba mga baril na sinurrender, 4,000, are they logged in sa isang database?
Sir, nandito po yung ating Vice Chair ng Independent Decommissioning Body in the person of Mr. Hovland from Norway. Sila po ang nag-ano po ng proseso.
Mr. Hovland, the firearms, the 4,000 firearms, how are they being handled once they were surrendered to the government? What kind of accounting do we do?
Your Honor, we in the independent decommissioning body, we receive and decommission the firearms. We register them. We do a function test of the firearms. So all the firearms we receive are operational. And then we store them according to the agreement. We also take in the registration number of the weapon. And according to the agreement between the parties, that is to be confidential for the independent decommissioning body.
Can we have records of those firearms that were surrendered, the serial numbers, and are they stored in a database where it will be accessible to the PNP and NBI and even the military? Like I said earlier, if there's an operation conducted by these authorities and in the process they were able to recover firearms in those operations, at least they can make some cross-checking to ensure that none of those firearms they recovered during their operations came from the weapons that were surrendered from the decommissioning process.
So for now, we are bound by our mandate given to us by the two parties, the government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. And in the terms of reference of the IDB, it says that all information, data, or opinions gathered, generated or exchanged in connection with the work of IDB are confidential and may not be divulged to an organization, individual, or entity. But if the parties would, of course, agree that we should share that, we could be open to do so. But for now, we're bound by our mandate.
So right now, it's confidential, so you cannot divulge to us the firearms, what kind of firearms are those, the serial numbers, that's confidential? You mean the Filipino people doesn't have the right to know?
So
Sir?
yeah. So Your Honor, we in the IDB, when we finished each phase of decommissioning, we send a report to our principal, which is a two-piece panels.
I understand,
We
sir, I understand,
record.
I know where you're coming from, I know what you're saying, but the thing is, there was more than 2 point something billion spent for this program. In exchange, they have to surrender their weapons. And I just want those weapons accounted for. First, where are they stored? And then second, how are they being handled? And then third, they should be in a database, like I said, for the third time, which will be accessible to everybody, especially the PNP, the NBI, the AFP, in case they need to check those database, those serial numbers of those firearms, then they can always go to that computer and look it for themselves.
So, Your Honor, I understand your question. I understand your need to do so. I really do. So we have our mandate now, and I can also answer what we do with the weapons. We store them in a secure storage area, and then according to the agreement, after the fourth phase, or when the parties agree, we will put them beyond use.
So even a video, you can show us a video or even pictures of those weapons?
So we had,
Still confidential?
no, we had two large events in Cotabato where we had display of all the firearms that we received for the phase, witnessed by.
Can you show us some videos at least or pictures? Because 4,000 is a lot of firearms, and I just want to make sure that those firearms are really well kept and being protected.
Yeah. So, Your Honor, we're very glad to submit pictures and videos of the weapons so you can see that.
So right now you cannot submit to us the serial numbers of those firearms. It's not stored in any database because you said it's confidential unless both parties agree to divulge those kind of information to us, to the Filipino people. Is that what you're saying, sir?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Then
With the
Mr. Chair.
permission of
Yes, with
Senator
the
Tulfo.
permission of Senator